I just wanted to set the story straight on an old hymn that I've been trying to learn, and um, I was looking on the internet and found some stories on it that just didn't sound right. And it's that old hymn called "Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing." The story goes widely; it's widely circulated, and it's been around evidently for years, maybe since the time of the writer, which was back in the 1700s. Robert Robinson passed away on June the 9th, 1790. And the story goes that he had uh, left the faith later in life and wandered for years. And even some implications that he wandered basically as a bum. But widely told story is that he was on a stagecoach years after he wrote this song. And a lady was humming the song, and she asked Robert Robinson what he thought of the hymn, and he said, "Madam, I'm the poor unhappy man who wrote that hymn many years ago, and I would give 1,000 worlds if I had them to enjoy the feelings I had then." The story goes on, like I say, different variations of it, is that he left the faith and he never returned to it. And as I read the words to this old hymn, it just sounds so far fetched to believe that. And so I did a little additional research, and I did find the different accounts. The most of the accounts are accurate up until late in his life. They're in agreement. He was about 8 years old when his dad died, and he grew up and got mixed up with some uh, bad characters, and they uh, did some things, picked on homeless people, and I think Robert's conscience began to bother him. The Lord probably began to deal with him. And he decided he wanted to go hear that great Methodist preacher of that day, George Whitfield. But he didn't want his friends to think he was getting weak or going soft. And so he talked them into going with him. They would go heckle George Whitfield, which they did. But the scripture that George Whitfield preached on that day was Matthew 3:7, "O generation of vipers, who hath warned you to flee from the wrath to come?" And for 3 years, that uh, just ate at Robert Robinson, and he became, got under conviction. And finally, after 3 years, he finally gave in and became a Christian. And 2 years after that, he wrote this great hymn. And he did wonder. He was wandered around a little bit in his faith. He left the Methodist later on and became a Baptist preacher. And then later in life, on beyond that, he befriended a man named Joseph Priestley, who was Unitarian, and Unitarians denied the lordship of Jesus Christ, the divinity of Jesus Christ, actually. And so a lot of the story got circulated that he became a Unitarian. But after he supposedly, the story got out and was being told that he'd become a Unitarian, he preached a message that clearly stated that Jesus was God, and Christ in himself is a person infinitely lovely as both God and man. So I think, the Unitarians, from what I understand, as I've researched, put out the thing, tried to claim that he'd become a Unitarian. I don't know why he befriended Priestley, why he got that close to them. Maybe he was wanting to influence them to become Baptist. I don't know. But anyway, it's a great hymn, and I just kind of wanted to set the story straight. I don't think that he ever left the faith, never to return. I think that he remained true, and I think he was a genuine Christian and wrote these words. Come thou fount of every blessing, in my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, all for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount I'm fixed upon it, mount of thy redeeming love. Here I raise my Ebenezer, hither by thy help I come, and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Jesus sought me when a stranger, wandering from the fold of God. He to rescue me from danger in interposed his precious blood. Oh, grace, how great a debtor daily I'm constrained to be. Let thy goodness like a feather bind my wandering heart to thee. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, they can seal it for thy court above. Prone to wander,